I'm not going to name you in the video, so it's anonymous, okay? If I accidentally say someone's name, then I'll have to edit it out later. There's no identification here, but when I ask you a question, just answer it back. Does that make sense? So I checked, you had Miss D last year, is that correct? It looks like you did a test on index laws already. So part of this is meant to be revision, but I don't trust what has been done before. I think I do it the best, okay? So I want to teach you my way. What is an index? An index, or if you've got more than one index, do you guys know what the other name for the little number up the top is? No, not quite.
Indices.
But I've already said that. There's two other, they start with P and they start with E. Power, good. I wish I could say your name, but I'll just point, okay? So the first one is power. Do you know what the one that starts with E is? Exponent. So a power, exponent, index, they all mean the same thing. What is an index? This is the base number. That's you writing the number, normal size. And then any small number written up the top to the right, that's the power or index. Okay? Is that familiar with you? Have you sort of heard that before? If not, you're hearing it right now. What does this tell you? This tells you that the base number, can you guys tell me what's the base number here? What's the number that I've written at full size? 8. Excellent. The base number is 2, and I'm multiplying it by itself. How many times? 3. Oh, it's a little shaky because I'm doing it live. So what does this mean? If I see 2 to the power of 3, that means 2 times 2 times 2. Does anyone off the top of their head know what happens if I get 2 multiplied by 2? Yeah? 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 again. No? That one more step. Times that by 2 as well, yeah? Yes, 8. So 2 to the power of 3, or 2 cubed, is going to be 8. So what's the point of this? This is to revise what indices are with you. I need you to know that so I can start on the actual year 10 stuff, okay? So I've got a little stamp here. Writing time, I'll give you a couple of minutes to get this section here. I don't have many rules in my class. Number 1, if I'm teaching, you don't talk. No one's here to listen to you. I'm the one who knows it. Number 2, if you're going to be mid or low, don't bring everyone else down, so don't affect other people's learning. And number 3, I'm strong with deadlines.
What?
Deadlines, like when stuff is due. Because I think most of the time, a lot of your teachers let it roll on, right? And I know it's strict with me, but how long has it taken your tests to be marked in the past?
4 days.
4 days, so it's a while. I'll usually mark it on the same day unless there's something going on. Okay, you'll know straight away. If I'm going to be efficient and do stuff straight away, like when you do assignments, I'll give you a draft. I'm literally going to spend all that weekend giving you feedback on it, right? So that's when I want it. I have 2 kids now, right? So I'm not going to spend next weekend doing it because I was going to use that first. Does that make sense? Why I'm going to be strong with it? If you have a medical or like a legit reason, then we can talk. But unfortunately, I've been working here 13 years, a lot of people take advantage of us being nice. Is that a question?
No, I'll tell you later.
Yeah, we can talk after. Yeah? Okay, so why do you need these rules? Well, because of this. We could do operations like this. If I had 6 to the power of 5, so this is in black, you don't need a copy. I'm explaining why we need these shortcuts. If I had 6 to the power of 5, how many times am I timesing 6 by itself?
5.
If I have 6 to the power of 12, how many times am I timesing 6 by itself?
12.
Does that look ridiculous? Does that look like a waste of time? That's why we're going to do the rules. These laws that you got, the index laws, they're shortcuts. And I'll go through them one by one and give you time to copy it down. So the index laws are rules that apply to situations that involve indices. We're going to refer to A and B. Those are always base numbers. They're the ones that are the real normal size. So the first one, I'll give you time to copy this down. if I've got the same base number, what am I doing between them? What sign is that? Times. If I'm timesing same base number and different powers, what is this telling you to do with the powers? What is it saying to do with m and n up the top? Good. So this is an example in purple. Get the rule down and then we'll do an example together. So 30 seconds or so. Can you get this rule down and I'll show you how to use it.
Wait, so we do have to write down the purple stuff as well?
Yeah, that's me showing you how to do it. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know how your other classes have operated. If I give you a rule, I want to show you how to use that bloody thing. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know, you could talk about being a barista and stuff. If I told you in paper how to make a coffee, that's cool. But unless someone actually shows you how to use the machine, it's not going to make any sense. So, like I said before, I can't force you to write it down. I think it's a good idea. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
The only thing I have power over is when you get to test time and you can't do the thing that I've taught you and I can show you is on YouTube, me teaching you, who's going to look bad? Is it me that's going to look bad if you didn't copy the stuff down? I don't think so. Can we look at this one here? Are the base numbers the same?
Yeah.
Both what?
Same. Up, I think.
Good. Am I multiplying them?
Yeah.
Are there different powers?
Yes.
So according to that rule, what do I do with those powers? Yes? Exactly. So that is going to be the same base number. See how the rule says the same base number? But 6 plus 3. And then you could skip straight to x to the power of 9 if you wanted. But I want to show the working out steps. Does that make sense? So can you just get to that star there? Thirty seconds, please. If you are finished before other people, just go on down the rules. But I will teach when I think people are done. Let's look at rule number 2. Can someone tell me what operation in maths, add, subtract, times or divide, am I talking about when it's a fraction bar? Excellent. Divide. So if I've got, are these the same base number? But I'm dividing them. What does this rule tell you do with the powers? Does it say add or does it say subtract? You take them this time. So, this situation here, are they the same base number?
Yeah.
Am I dividing them?
Yeah.
So according to the rule, what do I do with the powers? Add, subtract, times, subtract. So, this is weird because you're going to write the same base number and then you're going to write x, take 2. And I leave it like that. Because, is there anything stopping me working out what 6 plus 3 is? It's 9?
Yeah.
Do I know what x is?
Yeah.
No, so I leave it as x take 2. That's just the answer, okay? So, a minute or so, can you get to that star, please? Can we look at 3 now? What is 3 about? I have in 3 a base number, A. Does that base number have a power on it? Well, does it have a small m above it? So it's a to the power of m. And then that's in brackets. And then I'm raising the whole brackets to another power. So it's a weird situation. But what's the rule? If I've got that, all I do is times the powers together. Because in maths, what's the sign that we don't write between things? Times. So here, if I've got a base number to a power, and then that whole thing raised to another power, I times the powers together. So do we have that situation here? You're probably looking at this and go, oh, Mr. T, what substances are you on? Because that's not a number raised to a power. Is there a way that I could get 9 by squaring something? What's 2 times 2? What's 2 squared? What's 3 times 3? 9. So that, I can translate 9 to the power of 4 to 3 squared, because what's 3 squared? 3 times 3 is 9. And then what has 9 been raised to the power of 4? According to that rule, base number, what do I do with those powers? Times them together. What's 2 times by 4? 8. So the answer to that is 3 to the power of 8. Star, can you get up to the third one, please? Let's look at number 4. What's inside the brackets? What sign would be between A and B? What sign in maths do we not write? Yes? Times. So this is saying I've got A and B, they're timesing together, and I'm raising that to the power of M. So the way I say it is, if you've got that situation, that power spreads like COVID. So you had A, and now it's got the power of M. So you've got B, and now it's to the power of M. What sign would be between these two? Still times. So if we had this, what sign is between 2 and X that we don't write? Times. Good. So that's this situation. So what's going to happen to that power of 3 here? It's going to spread like what? COVID. So it's going to be 2 to the power of 3 times by X to the power of 3. You would get half your marks for this, because you're not done yet. Is there anything stopping you from working out what 2 to the power of 3 is? You can work that out. You'll be able to calculate it. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2. That's going to be 8 times X to the power of 3. I can't work out what X to the power of 3 is because I don't know what friggin' X is. So I leave it. But if I've got 2 to the power of 3, I can work that out. Can you get that one, please? We're going a little slower than I would normally like, but I don't know. Some people said the class might be a struggle. I just think that they didn't do a good job with you. I think you do better with me. As long as you listen. So what you know, do you agree that they sort of get more complicated as you go down? There's more to it. That's what year 10's about, okay? You're in senior school now. We're setting you up for next year. There's not just one math subject next year. You have to choose from low, mid, high. So unfortunately, year 10 kind of sucks because we have to do some of the algebra, the complex algebra, because people need to be able to choose it next year, okay? I don't want to straight away say we're not going to do that. I think some of you could, but you just need me. Okay? We'll see how we go. Next one. A divided by B raised to a power. What happened to the M? It spread like? COVID again. This one's slightly more complicated. I've got 3 and C. What sign is between the 3 and the C? Timesing. So this, I need an extra step in the middle. That 4 is going to spread like COVID to the top one. So it's going to be 3C, but in brackets to the power of 4, over, and that 4 is going to spread to the B to the power of 4. Why do I need brackets around there? Because if I didn't put brackets on it, so I'll erase the brackets for now. What's the only thing that I'm raising to the power of 4 here? I'm only raising C, so you're wrong. I need to put that 4, I need to apply that power of 4 to that whole thing, okay? Is there a rule somewhere up here for when we have something times by something else with a power on the outside? Which rule number is it?
3.
Ooh, close.
8. Don't say 8.
Which one? Am I timesing two things together here?
Yeah.
Is it being raised to a power? So this is going to feel that after we've done this rule here. So that's going to be 4 is going to spread like COVID to 3 and C to the 4 over B to the 4. Is there anything stopping me working out what 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is? Other than it being annoying? I'll help you. You will have a calculator normally, okay? 3 times 3
9.
times 3. I'm close.
31.
Further. 27 times 3, 81. That's 3 to the power of 4. 81 C to the 4 over B to the 4. You can see it's getting more complicated now, but it's still applying that rule. Can you get that one down, please? This rule gets easier. Okay, this rule. This one's an easier one. It's just anything to the power of 0. Can you tell me what it is? Anything raised to the power? No? 1. So, 4 to the power of 0 is going to be?
4.
No? What did he just say?
0.
No, you said it right. And then just, yeah. All right? 4 to the power of 0 or, I don't know, 32 million to the power of 0. What's that going to be? 1 again. You got to hope and pray that you get a question where it says what's blah, blah, blah to the power of 0. It's just going to be 1. Can you get that one down? And then we'll do one more rule, an example, and then I'll finally shut my mouth, but I'll show you where you can access my lesson materials. This is the real year 10 rule. I don't think you would have had this in year 9. Do you have any idea what the word reciprocal means? Have you heard of that term before? Or you can say yes or no.
What?
No? Reciprocal. Okay, law 7. Law 7 we call the reciprocal rule. The reciprocal of something. So if you don't need to write this one. If I said reciprocal of 3 over 2 is 2 over 3, what did I do with that? I flicked it over, okay? The reciprocal of any fraction is just that fraction flipped over. So, this rule here for the reciprocal, if I have any fraction, what's that sign in front of the power there? Negative. If I have a negative power, what does it do? What's happened to the negative here?
It swaps it over to a positive.
Correct. So that negative power gets used up to flip it over, right? It's been flipped. It's no longer A over B, it's B over A. And then do we have a rule where it says you've got a fraction to a power? What happened to that power here? It spread like COVID to those. So this reciprocal rule just means that if you've got a negative power, the negative flips it, and then whatever the number is gets applied to both. So it might actually be easy to do this bottom one first. If I use, what's the negative going to do to 2 over 3? Flip it, so what's it going to be? 3 over 2, but that's still to the power of 2. Then how does that 2 spread to those numbers? Spreads like COVID, so it's going to be 3 squared over 2 squared. And what is 3 squared? 9. What is 2 squared? 4. This one's tricky because you might not know that whole numbers can be written as fractions. Just get that bottom one first. Does anyone know how I'd write a whole number like 3 as a fraction? 3 over 3 over what? Do I need to go over fractions? Let's do it, bro. Okay, if I have a fraction, this is a completely separate lesson, but I need to fix stuff. 1/2. What does that mean? It means I've cut a hole into 2 pieces, and how many of those pieces do I have? 1. Let's try something else. If I have 3 over 4, what's that 4 telling me? How many pieces am I going to cut the hole into? 4. So 4 slices, but how many of those pieces do I care about? 3. Now let me ask you, if I have the whole number 3, how many holes is that?
3.
Good. So it's going to be 3 over, am I cutting those holes into any pieces?
3.
Not 3. 3 over 3 is going to be 1. I need 3 holes.
3 over 1.
3 over 1. Because if I've got a hole, if I've got 3 circles, how many pieces are those holes cut into? Just 1. This is 1 piece. And I've got 3 of them, yeah? So this, what would 3 be as a fraction? 3 over? 1. So that's how we answer this. 3 over 1 to the power of negative 2. What does the negative do to that fraction? What did it do last time? Flipped it, so it's going to be 1 over 3 squared. How is that 2 going to spread to the 1 and the 3? Like? COVID, 1 squared over 3 squared. What's 1 times by 1? 1. What's 3 times by 3? 9. That is the end. That's what could go on your cheat sheet. Okay? Now that we've got all these tools and everything, we can try. I'm not offering the grand anymore because you know how to do it now. No, that's a shame. Here. Do we have a base number to a power in brackets to another power? What do I do with these 2 powers then? Not quite? Yes. When it's the brackets, times. When it's times, you add them. So let's deal with the top. It's going to be 20 x to the 6 times by 3, 18. You're very capable of answering. I've heard a lot from you. There's other people in this room. Okay? It's not that I want to cut you down or anything, but there's other people in this room. Do we have another base number here to a power? X squared. Sorry, there's people at the back. X squared. Is that in brackets? Is it raised to the power of 7? What did he say to do to those powers? He still answered it. There's bloody other people in this room. Okay? So he answered it anyway. What's 2 times by 7? 14. That's messy, okay? But we're using my tools that I've given you today to clean it up. Let me try someone else now. I'd like to say your name, give you credit, but because it's going public, I'm not going to identify you, okay? Are these the same base number? X and X. Do they have different powers? What am I doing between them? No? What's that? Dividing. Good. What is a rule? What do I do with those powers when you're dividing the same base number?
Take away.
Take away. So we're going to have 20 over 5 still there. X to, what's 18 take 14? 4? Almost there. See how much cleaner that is? Can anyone tell me what 20 divided by 5 is? How many 5s go into 20?
5. 4.
Take your time. Take your time. 4x to the 4. So this ridiculous thing is really just 4 times by x to the power of 4. I'm pretty sure you would never have written that much. I'm not going to apologize for that. You're going to year 11 next year where you have tests that last for 90 minutes. Did you do long tests last year? It says on there. But I get the impression you might have been given some gimme marks. I'm serious about it. Okay, I want to help you. If you let me, I will do it. Okay? Can you not swing in your chair? I'm going to have to resuscitate you or something. So, I'm going to stop the recording now.